The Secrets of Technology is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give. Hi, I'm Tom Bettinelli, and you're listening to The Secrets of Technology, where we discuss the technology news that's important to you from a uniquely Catholic point of view. And joining me today on the panel are Pat Scott. Hey, Pat.
Greetings and salutations.
And Father Andrew Kinstetter. Hey, Father.
Hello there.
Before we get started, I do want a couple of things I want to take care of first. First, I want to give a shout out to a young listener named Albert, who I know listens to this show and Secrets of Star Trek and Secrets of Doctor Who and Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. His mom is friends with my wife, Melanie, and was telling Melanie that his siblings kind of tease him because he quotes Jimmy Akin all the time. And I'm like, and I want to tell Albert, you keep quoting Jimmy.
Oh, he's a great one to quote.
Yes. Don't you worry about it. You keep following Jimmy. You get smarter every day. That's just
absolutely.
So
a reliable source.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to Albert. Also, programming note. Next week, as we record this, there won't be an episode. That'll be Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and I will be busy preparing turkey, and then
or something.
I won't be recording and editing a podcast. So every year we take Thanksgiving off, so we'll be back the following week. But this week we are beginning our annual tradition of the Christmas gift guides, and for those of you who may be new, every year we take a few weeks before Christmas, hopefully give you enough time to hear our suggestions and do some shopping, but we do some tech-related Christmas gift guides, and sometimes it's very thinly tech-related.
A stretch.
And sometimes it's no tech, but it's some gift ideas, and some of these things are things we may have picked as picks of the week in the past. Some of the things are things that we own that we may like or whatever, and we have different themes every year, and this year we've decided that we're each going to pick a different personal theme, and since I get to do this 4 times, I have to come up with 4 themes. Mm-hmm. So but this week it'll be the 3 of us, and we'll go in a round robin fashion with the things that are on our lists. So Pat, what is your theme for this Christmas?
Well, I decided that we all want our family to be safe and our friends to be safe. So my theme this year is storage, backup. How do you keep your loved one's computer from all their information dying when they dropped it in the middle of the road or something? At any rate, so that's my theme is what kind of storage, different types of storage there are, and another cloud storage.
Okay. So why don't you go with your first gift idea this week, and then we'll go around, and Father will go after you. So why don't you pick one of them?
Right. So for the average person that has a computer and many times a desktop, if they want to back up their information locally, then an external hard drive is a good choice. Flash drives are too small, too easily lost, and die quickly. So an external drive, the first one that I choose would be a SATA drive, which means that it's got a mechanical hard drive inside, but they are relatively inexpensive for quite a bit of data backup. So if the first time somebody's wanting to back up stuff, that's a good choice because it's pretty inexpensive. And the first example I had was a Western Digital 2 terabyte, around $79 for 2 terabyte is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And it has built-in or it has cables for both the USB-C and USB-A, and it has a 3-year warranty. Now, this is Western Digital. There are other brands. I also like Toshiba, which has gotten good write-ups in some of the testing that some of the big companies use. And it tends to be a little bit less expensive, not a lot. Mm-hmm. But so if I'm going to recommend one to somebody, it will be either the Western Digital or the Toshiba, or I'll let them choose.
Yeah.
And there's usually 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, something like that, terabyte drives.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea that it, go for the spinny drive for a backup drive, instead of an SSD, instead of solid state, because it doesn't need to be fast. A backup drive, it usually is running, hopefully when you're not at the computer, if you can automate the backup software, it doesn't need to be, super speedy access. So, getting something that's inexpensive but reliable. I like that idea. That's a good pick. All right, Father, what's your theme this Christmas?
So my theme is hearkening back to my childhood. So some of the coolest gifts that I can remember me and my brother getting as kids was the Nintendo 64 when I was a kid, and also the Nintendo GameCube. Those were big Christmas ticket items. And so this year, I am continuing in that theme. So video games is my theme kind of in general. So my picks kind of go not just with Nintendo, but they kind of bounce around a little bit, but actually kind of Nintendo heavy. So keep that in mind. So my first pick is of course got to be the Nintendo Switch 2. So it's also the most expensive pick of my set. So do be prepared for this one if this is what you're going to get your family for Christmas, because the Nintendo Switch 2, which I do have myself, and I would highly recommend it. Nintendo just does some really phenomenal stuff, and they finally, with the Nintendo Switch 2, upgraded to 4K quality, and so their games are able to kind of process those sorts of things. And of course, although the Mario games and Zelda games and stuff are all just superb on it. But the Nintendo Switch 2 as a standalone console runs $450. My pick, though, is the Mario Kart World edition of it, and that's $500. So it's the console plus a digital copy of the Mario Kart World, which by far is become my favorite Mario Kart game ever. So it's sort of an open world course where when you do Grand Prix, you do one course and then you actually travel through the world as part of the race to the next course. And you can do like point to point tracks where you start at like Bowser's Castle and end up at, the Koopa Troopa Beach, or, those sorts of things. And you can do your standard 3 laps on a normal course too. And so there's a lot of Easter eggs, even for fans of the older Mario Kart games. Even the Super Nintendo version, they have kind of recreated some of those maps within the bigger map, and it's just a phenomenal all around family fun game if you're into racing and Mario Kart and Nintendo. So that is my first pick.
If you get a bunch of kids, pick this up and some extra controllers, and it's a gift for the whole family.
And what's great about the way that the Nintendo Switch handles this is it comes with the 2 Joy-Con controllers, and each of those becomes an individual controller in itself. Yeah. So when I go home and play with my nieces and nephews, they all get one of those little Joy-Con controllers, and they're just fine with it, whereas I take the Pro controller myself. But that's, my prerogative.
You're the adult.
But, right. But it's, those things are, you get 2 of them just with the console, and then those are cheaper than buying, multiple Pro controllers. So, and all you need is gas, brake, and, the control stick and the L and R button to do your drifting. So it's, it works perfectly.
Is it still limited to 4 players at a time?
Shoot. I think locally it's 4 players. I think online though it's jumped up to I forget if it's 32. I mean it's jumped up really a lot, but I think locally I think it's still 4. Okay. I would need to do some research to verify that, but
that's one of the things that kind of for like, because it's
5 person.
I got 5 kids and me, and when we play, we all we have to kind of hot seat through someone through every Grand Prix or every race or something like that. But still, it's a really good gift. I like that idea. It's not inexpensive. But
so quick Google search: Mario Kart World supports up to 4 local players on a single console and up to 8 players using local wireless play across multiple consoles. So
interesting.
Oh, you have to have 2 consoles.
Yeah. But I think, and again, this would take a little bit more. I'm not sure if you need to have 2 copies of the game, though. You might be able to, some of these Nintendo games, if it's multiplayer, you can have the game on one console, and it will sort of share
access.
Yeah. You don't have to buy the game twice to have multiplayer options.
One console will be the host, and the other will be a client version. Yeah.
So and then up to online, I think it's, like I said, I think it's somewhere up to like 32 players or something. It's
okay.
That's a crowd.
It's chaotic, which is
a melee.
half the fun. So
my son's scout troop occasionally have game nights, and so they'll project it on the wall, and they'll do Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. And it's a bunch of teenage boys, like 35 teenage boys. It's craziness. It is so fun.
And friendships are formed and die within those gaming sessions.
And enemies made.
Yes, lifelong nemesis. Good first one out of the gate. So my theme this week is keeping track of your stuff. Where's my stuff? You tell it's a big. This is a
find me
theme in my the theme in my house is where's my blank. So to start off with, then I'm going to be. You have to be an Apple owner of something for this one, but I'll have something for you non-Apple folks later on in my list. But to start off with, I'm suggesting an Apple AirTag 4-pack. So you can get this on Amazon. And you can get it for 4 of them for $80. So, we're talking $20 a pop, which is pretty good for an AirTag. And you could even maybe give one AirTag. It's good as a stocking stuffer, one AirTag to 4 people. So it's not a bad little thing to do there. I know that there's rumors that Apple is updating the AirTags, sometime, someday, whenever. But these AirTags are still good. The current version of AirTags, it's been the same AirTag for a while. They're really good. They really work well. There are limitations. It's not perfect, but one of the things I do with mine is I put them in the car. I have an AirTag in each of the cars, so that not just if it gets stolen, that because they'll be looking for the thieves will look for the AirTag, but even just like sometimes. You're in a big parking lot at the mall. Like, where did I park? I don't remember. You can, use the Find My to find it. So, and a million other uses. And I'll have a few other things as we go through that are kind of related to it to give you some ideas on how to use AirTags. But just to start out with, my first suggestion is AirTags. So that's our first round. Pat, what's your second gift idea?
Well, along with the weekly backups on an inexpensive drive, if somebody has to have a faster drive, like maybe they copy off pictures and now they need to copy them somewhere else, then an alternative there would be a solid state drive. Probably not for your daily backup, but more for your, hey, I need to copy a bunch of stuff off and then copy it back in. I do this all the time with having to copy somebody's data from one computer and put it on another. And this is a faster way to do it than the little spinny drives. And so there's 2 of them. Well, 2 of them that I usually alternate between. There's a Crucial one that's a terabyte for $85. And they have a 2 terabyte for $135. Again, these are USB-C and a 3-year warranty. I also occasionally buy the SanDisk as an alternative, and I'm not going to go through the pricing on that, just a matter of either one of those I consider to be really good SSD drives. And they are faster than the other, but the main thing is that they're more expensive too. So for the average daily backup, this is probably not what you want, but for something that you want to make sure it's fast and not easily damaged because there's no moving parts.
Right. The cheaper spinny platter drive, the SATA drive, that's good if it's going to stay in one place and you're not moving it around. And
that's true. You don't want to drop it.
Yeah.
I've had people drop it.
For moving around, putting in a bag, that sort of stuff. So that's good. Good. Those are some good ideas. I think, both of these. I think someone could have both of these for different purposes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Excellent. All right, Father, what's your second gift idea this week?
So my next couple are going to be games, and this first one that I would recommend is the sequel to an indie game, so an independent developer game. The first game was called Hollow Knight. This is the sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong. It's highly anticipated game. I think it's been in development for about 7 years. It is. For those of you who don't know, it's a two-dimensional platformer game. So think like old school Mario, but think of a sprawling two-dimensional map that you have to search out and explore the map, and you have to gain new abilities to unlock new parts of the map. And the whole world is bug related. So the young boys might like it. And Pat, you grimace.
I'm just thinking spiders.
I'm not a bug fan myself, but the art in this game kind of anthropomorphizes the bugs a little bit.
Okay.
But they look like bugs, but the art is beautiful and breathtaking and amazing. And so it's sort of I forget what the term is for it, but I mean it's a modern game, but it's meant to be kind of a retro style, so it's two-dimensional. But the art, the art is amazing. The music is phenomenal. You do fight spiders on occasion, and they are kind of creepy looking. But it's good
for helping you get over your arachnophobia.
It is and it's a sprawling map. It's huge and it's challenging, and the lore in it is really fun if you like to kind of. You're sort of discovering this underground kind of kingdom, and the monarchs from eons ago are long past. So you're kind of uncovering the story of the whole thing as you go along, and it's a lot of fun. It was released in September, and it runs for $20. And
that's pretty good.
So for a huge game like this, it's actually very, very cheap. And it is one that runs on Nintendo, Xbox, PS5, PC, all the systems. So it's not one you're locked into a console or a computer for.
Nice. Very good. Excellent. So my second gift idea this week is a wallet from Ridge Wallets. But they have specifically wallets that have AirTag holders. So the Ridge wallet it's very unique. It's very specific looking. It doesn't look like other things. In fact, others have started copying them. And it's basically you have two flat panels and an elastic holding them together. And you put your cards, your license, credit cards, whatever cards, your Costco card, in between the elastic. They'll often have something on the back where you could use it as sort of a money clip. But these ones, they also have things where you can add an AirTag holder and either an AirTag elastic band or an AirTag money clip. And so you put your AirTag in it. And it's because AirTags are kind of bulky. They don't fit inside a regular wallet. So they've designed it so it's on the outside of the wallet. And so the wallets themselves, I mean, they have carbon fiber ones that are really expensive. But the wallets themselves are very high quality, but they're not super expensive. You could expect to spend maybe $75 to $100 on the wallets, especially right now they're on sale because of Christmas. And then they have the AirTag attachments, which can go to be like $35 or so. I think it's $35 for the AirTag attachment, and you have to provide your own AirTag, of course. But one thing that's nice with AirTags is you can get them monogrammed for free if you order them from Apple directly. Mm-hmm. So you can get, an emoji or
initials or whatever.
So, like for example, I have AirTag cases for my my AirPods, and so does my wife Melanie. They're the same case, but on mine it says Dom, and on hers it says MB. So MCB. It says my name and her initials. So I don't have a middle. So I could put Dom on mine, which was awesome. But don't call her Mel.
No.
No. So the Ridge wallet with the AirTag holder, that's my second gift idea. It's a a little more expensive, but it's a
For that special person, you know?
especially for someone who doesn't want to lose their wallet or is always going, where did I put my wallet? So that was all right. So Pat, we come around to I think we're on to our third one. What is your third gift idea?
Okay, this is also an SSD drive, but it's what they call a rugged drive. And there are several reasons to have a rugged drive. I have one client that she travels a lot and takes photos and videos, and then she needs to mail them to her publisher. And you try to put a regular drive in the mail and you're not sure what's going to happen, you know. So this is, you know, drop proof, or, you know, different ones have different amounts of how far can you let them drop, how long can they be underwater, how dust resistant are they, etc. And they're fairly small considering how much data they carry. She got a 4 terabyte, I think, when she got hers. The ones I was looking at, and I've got one of those, it was a 1 terabyte SanDisk Extreme Portable SSD, again, USB A and C. And the 1 terabyte was 109, and the 2 terabyte was 179. So it's not hugely expensive. Now, if you go after the Apple branded, or not Apple branded, but Apple compatible or Apple, people usually get Lacier. I guess that's the way, or Lacey. I don't know how you pronounce that.
It's Lacey. Yeah.
And those are a lot more expensive, but they are very rugged and they have good reviews on them. Samsung also has a rugged drive has been well reviewed and is not as expensive as the Lacier or Lacey.
Yeah.
Correct me on the pronunciation of that.
I think it's always been people have had to guess. So,
okay, so we can choose either one. That's nice.
Just pick one. It's like
English versus American.
The guy online who called the Schweppes ginger ale Shua Peepees. You know, whatever works for you. But the LaCie, I've always called it LaCie. 4 terabyte rugged drive is 150. So it's not that much
it's not that much better. Yeah, I mean, not of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, if you've got data that you don't want to get damaged in transit, or as you're carrying it around your backpack crossing over Europe and carrying it to put your photos on while you're out there, it's worth it.
Right. Or if you work in like dusty, dirty conditions, like
construction.
Work out of a truck, and you get dust in the air, whatever that, or wet. These are great. Yeah. Excellent. Good. All right, Father, what's your next game idea?
So my next one is another game. This one is going to be console locked. And this one I have not yet played because it has not been released yet. It will be released December 4th, just next month. And this is the new Metroid Prime game. So it's Metroid Prime 4. This is a kind of a sci-fi first-person shooter kind of game. For those of you who know the Metroid series, this has been a game that's been highly anticipated. I think it's also got a 7 or 8 year production cycle where they had issues and they swapped studios. And so there's the Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 were all released back. I think the third one was released back on the Wii. So it's been quite a number of years since those games. And so sci-fi, exploration, new world, you get dropped in and you kind of lose all your abilities, and same kind of principle with Hollow Knight. In fact, Hollow Knight sort of took that whole idea of exploring a map and then you gain abilities and explore more from the Metroid series originally. That's kind of one of the first games back on the original Nintendo that kind of had that whole exploration kind of mode. And so this one should be good. Of course I can't personally vouch for the quality yet because I haven't played it, but it's on my list for sure.
It's bound to be good.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. So my next gift idea, sticking with the AirTags theme, is actually it's a whole company's worth of stuff. This company called Elevation Lab makes all different kinds of AirTag cases and mounts, and I've talked about them on the show before. Like in our travel episodes and that sort of thing. And what they've done is they said, people are going to want to attach AirTags to all kinds of things. And so we need to have ways to attach them and protect them. And so they have things like the AirTag Fabric Extreme, and this is a waterproof. So they have an AirTag Fabric and AirTag Fabric Extreme, and the fabric is it's adhesive on the back, and it's flexible. So there's the little pit that the AirTag goes in, but the rest of it's flexible. So if you have like a duffel bag or some kind of bag that's made of fabric, you want to attach it to the AirTag somewhere inside, not hanging off the handle where it's visible, but it's like somewhere inside. This works with that. So, and then you can always actually get into it to the AirTag, so you can change the battery when you need to. They have like ones that AirTag surface mount, so that they mount it to a bumper of your car, or to the frame of the car, if you want to do that sort of
bicycle.
They have a magnetic one. They also have a bike mount one, which is secures to a particular. It's on the seat somewhere, like underneath the seat. They have dog collar ones. They have a security mount where to get at the AirTag inside, you need a special security key that they give you. It's just tons of things. They even have AirTag Surface for Milwaukee, which is for the Milwaukee branded power tools.
Yeah.
So it's the same color as them. So Milwaukee's like Apple, like the Milwaukee people, like the people who use the Milwaukee tools. They're very dedicated to their brand. So I think that's why they do that. So it's really, if you need an AirTag mount of some sort, or a way to put an AirTag someplace, chances are Elevation Lab will have it. So, and then, of course they have keychain ones and they have luggage ones. I've got the security cable ones for my luggage. I've got some of the fabric ones to go inside. In fact, I had a piece of luggage where I had an AirTag on the handle, but then I also had another one inside the case. So the one on the handle was the decoy. Someone was going to mess with it.
That was the one the battery didn't work, right?
Right. Well, speaking of battery didn't work, these guys, I mentioned this as a pick of the week. They have a 10-year battery mount now, which is it's a case that you put like a AA batteries in, that you then put your AirTag in. And it powers the AirTag for up to 10 years.
Wow.
Which is great. I mean, especially if you have like cases that you store, or whatever equipment that you're kind of storing, and you don't want to like have to, every time, I'm going to go on a trip, and I want to make sure that my batteries are charged in my AirTags. You don't have to remember that. You just
storage shed.
Yeah, exactly. So, they have all these different things. Very clever, very, very well designed. So, if you get an AirTag and you get someone someone who's a cyclist and, cycling enthusiast, get an AirTag bike mount for them or something like that. So, some creative ideas for keeping track of your stuff there. All right, Pat, what's your next idea for a gift?
Okay, so we've talked about the spinny drives and the SSD drives, and I actually am going to go back to the old-timey flash drives, just the USB sticks. There are still reasons to use them. More people are beginning to use cloud storage to send files to everybody, but sometimes you want to back up your Quicken files and stick them in a filing cabinet, or you want to get a bunch of pictures and put them on a stick for a memorial service. That's I've seen people use that, and it used to be they were in 500 megabyte and 1 terabyte. These days, you can't find anything less than 32 gigabytes these days. But again, you have to be careful of the brands, because so many of them are actually, they don't give you the true measurements of them. Some of the real cheap ones, they've opened them up and found out that they say they're 10 or 5 gig and they're not. Maybe they're 1 gig and the rest of there isn't anything else there. So you want to stick with name brands, and the ones that I use the most are PNY and SanDisk and Verbatim and Kingston. But I like the PNY the 32 gigabytes is a pack of 5 comes for $25. They're pretty inexpensive.
Wow.
The SanDisk 32 gigabytes, you can get one for about $10. And of course, they've got multi-packs as well. And so does SanDisk have singles as well as multi-packs. So those are for the things that they don't last huge number of years, but they're great for quick and fast storage and carting stuff around, or putting them in an envelope and mailing them, or not an envelope, but a package and mailing them. So
I like ones where they have a cover over the end, over the connector, like that's more, a little more rugged, and I'll throw it on my keychain, so I always have it. And sometimes I'll have like utilities on it, so I can troubleshoot stuff. Oh,
I carry one with me everywhere, but that has all the utilities I need to help with problems with both Macs and PCs.
I mean, it might be good to to get one of these as a gift and then load it up with some utilities. Especially if you get a young person who's kind of up and coming as a little bit,
help them train them.
Yeah, computer aficionado, and get them a little head start with a good thumb drive full of useful utilities and PDFs and that sort of stuff. I like that.
And I didn't mention that some of them are a lot of them are the continuing USB-As, but they are beginning to make USB-C ones. I know the SanDisk, for instance, has an Ultra USB-C 32 gig, and you can get larger ones. They're supposed to be better, faster than they used to be, but I used to find that USB sticks were really slow, so I never got anything that big because it just took forever to put stuff on them. But they say that they're better now, and get USB 3, do not get, or USB-C, don't get the old USB-As if you're at all concerned about speed.
All right. Very good. All right, Father, what's your next on the list?
So my next pick is also a game. It's totally in a whole different genre once again, and this one is called the We Were Here series. It's a series of games. I think they have 4 out. I've played through 2 of them so far, and the whole point of these games is it's a cooperative play, so you cannot play it alone. You have to play it with a friend. And you can, I don't know if it supports local or not. Me and my brother play it online, but the whole gist of the story is you and your friend are polar explorers, and you find this kind of castle in the Arctic, and you get knocked out and separated, and you have to solve clues that your partner has and vice versa to escape. So
escape room.
Yeah, it's actually, my brother kind of said, yeah, this is kind of like an escape room, just a video game version of it. So yeah, like your partner will have solutions to clues that the other person has to input, and it's built in such a way that like you have to talk it out. You're trying to describe symbols to each other because certain ones are codes to type into whatever solution, and it's not just well, hit the T and the A and the B. It's like, no, it kind of looks like a bird with a snail on its back, and that's the right pictograph that you need. And then the other one is a lion with a crown on it, and it forces you to communicate, and that's the whole point of it. And we played through the first 2, and they've been really fun to do, and some of them are you're timed. Yeah, there's water flooding a room, and so you have to solve it in a certain time, or you fail and die, so to speak, and start over. And so it's in this castle in the Arctic, so it's even got kind of a creepy sort of vibe going on. So you want to escape, and there's some tension, and it's so far been a lot of fun. We're still working through them. And then it's fun for replay too, because you can play it again, but then swap roles. And it's been a lot of fun. So and that one's only $35 for the bundle. I think each individual game is much cheaper, but Xbox, Steam, and the PlayStation Store all have the bundle. And they are also, I think, for Nintendo Switch, but I couldn't find the bundle, but they were individually available on the Nintendo Switch eStore.
I like the idea of cooperative games. There's a bunch of different cooperative games out there, but especially for kids, they get them playing together. too many games. It's like one person playing and everyone else sits around them watching them play. I prefer when they can play together.
Or Cutthroat.
Right. And my brother and I have always really liked the cooperative ones. So you work together, and it's not just, who can kill each other the most in this video game. It's we're working together to solve the problem or to
That's great.
Complete the campaign or whatever.
I set up a Minecraft server on a spare computer here, and 2 of my kids have started playing Minecraft with each other, and they play hide and seek in Minecraft.
Wow.
They've had to come up with a rule, like you can't like dig a hole and then bury yourself in it, because that's not fair. Like dig a hole and cover it over. They're so creative with it. It's funny. All right, the good one. All right, so my next one is this is a gift idea. Now I don't have this, I don't own this, but I like the idea of it, and that's kind of how the gift idea ones work, which is we don't necessarily have to have. We're not telling you that we have it and we can recommend it. What we're saying is it's an interesting gift idea,
and put it on my list for me, please.
Right. It could be. I'm not sure. This one I don't know. I would get for myself, but for someone else, I could see it. It's a travel cord organizer with an AirTag holder built in, and it's on Etsy. So these are custom made, and so if you're going to get this, you probably have to move fairly quick. But they're really nicely made. So it's it's to describe it, it's like a zipper case, and they have different fabrics. And I think you can get leather and there's some other things. And there's space inside to hold like a power block, a power cable, like a long USB cable, in various places, and then a little holder for an AirTag. So it's and then you zipper it up, and it has all of the stuff you need to connect your computer. And it comes in different sizes, so small, medium, and large. So depending on how much you need to carry with you, like they say, the size S has the stuff you need for a laptop, whereas the size M for if you have it for your tablet and cell phone. So it has both, and like you can carry the phone in the case along with like your Apple Pencil and that sort of thing. And then the large, for someone who has laptop and cell phone, because those require more things. So you can get them in different colors, different fabrics. I think you can even get the monogram, but I'm not positive about. Yeah, you can get it personalized. So with a name on it, and so you got different costs and stuff like that. So we'll have a link to the Etsy store for this. But I think it's a nice idea, because keeping your cables and stuff organized is always a hassle. But keeping track of the case that holds them, especially when you're traveling, you leave it behind in a hotel or in a coffee shop or that sort of thing. This is a nice way to keep track of things. So, that's my next gift idea. All right, Pat, why don't you give us your last gift idea for this year?
Well, we've been talking about local storage for, stuff off of your computer or possibly even off your phone. My experience is that sometimes your backup might be in the same place as your device, and therefore if there's a bad accident like a fire or a flood, they're both gone and all your data is gone with it. So I am a strong believer in some type of remote storage. Now you can take local backups and put them in a vault or something like that, so they're not in your house or they're at a neighbor's house or your friend across town. But I like cloud storages, and so a gift subscription to somebody for a year of cloud storage would be a good way to get somebody used to that. For Windows, I like Carbonite really well. It does great versioning, and it's everything on your computer that's data gets backed up. And it's a pretty reasonable subscription. It ends up there's usually a first year discount, and then it's about $96 a year after that. But you could get somebody started and let them see whether they can keep that up. For Macs, Backblaze is one that a lot of my Mac users use. And if you've got both Macs and PCs, iDrive handles both. And again, they're versioned, they're They're automatic. You set it up. You don't have to worry about it. Just wherever you're connected to the internet, it's going to be able to back up. So that's my recommendation, is to, again, save your friend.
Backblaze is great. I know the way that it is, any drive that's attached to your computer gets backed up as well. So if you have an external drive or something like that, so they don't back up like network storage, but they will back up any drive that is physically attached to your, and it all just happens in the background, just over time. And it's just constantly working. It's really
now
nice.
Carbonite. They do have. There's a couple of plans. One that just says you back up local. I mean, just whatever's on your main computer. Mm-hmm. And if you have external drives, there's an additional step up to do that. Mm-hmm. And I think they've got one for NAS as well. But at any rate, so they have multiple tiers.
Yeah, and the tier in Carbonite, which is your computer plus an external hard drive, is actually a little less, but close to being the same as Backblaze, so that it's comparable. Yeah,
great,
good, excellent. All right, Father, what's your last gift idea?
So my last gift idea is video game themed, but it's not actually a video game, although it's related to video games. This is Lego's recent release. They released the original Game Boy, but in Lego design. So you can build the original Game Boy in Legos, and also it includes a few different, even like game cartridges that are Lego. And so and it's almost a 1-to-1 scale of what the original Game Boy was. So if you're at all nostalgic, and of course if you love Legos, and Legos are great Christmas ideas, mm-hmm. This is a good one. It's $60 for the set. However, getting it for Christmas may be difficult, because last time I checked, it's back ordered. So it's definitely popular. And,
Epiphany gift.
It could very well be that, but yes. Definitely. I mean, Legos and video games. It's like a marriage made in heaven. So
I like that they, in addition to giving you the game cartridges, they give you the game screens as well. Mm-hmm. You can insert a different game screen. Just to be clear, it's not an actual operating Game Boy.
Correct.
It's a Lego set.
Correct.
But when you build it, you've got a Lego set of a Game Boy, which is really.
I have my original Game Boy.
Oh, that's awesome!
Wow.
I have not tried it to make sure it still works, but I think it still works, because those things are going to work until the end of the world. But
if you get the set, the Lego set, you should put it on the shelf with the original Game Boy.
And put them side by side. Oh yeah,
that would be awesome.
Well, and then you could frame them with a couple of the Lego plants, that I've seen recently. Those look cool.
Yes, I've got my Lego bonsai over here.
Yeah,
that's really neat. All right, so my last gift idea is for all you non-Apple folks out there who've been going, well, I don't have an Apple device, so AirTags are useless to me. Well, the Tile Tracker has been around forever, in fact, much longer than AirTags, and they recently were taken in by, I'm not sure the exact relationship, by Life 360, and Life 360 is a firm that does a lot of family safety tracking. You install software in your kids' phones and it keeps track of them and that sort of stuff. So they've added Tile Tracker to their portfolio. And so Tile Trackers work great. I had Tile Trackers. I switched to AirTags in almost every instance just because it's in the ecosystem for me. It's much easier to use for me as an Apple user. But if I wasn't an Apple user, I would totally be still using Tile Trackers. You can get packs, like a 4-pack of the Tile Pro is $70, so a little cheaper than AirTags. They have different shapes. I like to have like ones that are like a credit card shape.
They're very thin, yeah.
Very thin. You slide into a wallet. Really nice. You get ones that you can, like Tile stickers, where you can attach to things. I used to attach those to Kindle cases because I now use the Elevation Lab AirTag one, but they work the same way. Amazon, I don't know why they haven't put Find My technology in their Kindles, because my kids are constantly losing their Kindles. Although I always say, Dad, I don't know where can you ping my Kindle? I can't find it. First thing I say is, it's in your bed. I know it's in your bed, and I'm going to ping it, and you're going to find it. It's not in my bed. It's not in my bed. And it's always in their bed. I don't know.
Under the covers.
It's always in there. Just keep digging. So in any case, the tile trackers are great for all those things, and you can get them in packs. They have different branded ones. They have like Hello Kitty ones, and all kinds of stuff. With I think so, they have like even like different colors because Apple,
rainbow colors and all sorts of different fabric looking colors and stuff like that.
Yeah, Apple doesn't believe in colors, although lately they've decided orange is a color that they believe in. But apart from that, but tile is very colorful. So
I've used tiles a long time, and I still have some things that I use the tiles on. I've used the tile stickers on they're not Apple AirTags, so they didn't have a Find My, but for my Soundcore pods, and because I'm always losing those. And so, yeah, I've liked the tiles, but the AirTags, besides being in the Apple ecosystem, does an elevation check really well to say it's 20 feet higher than what you are right now. And the tiles don't do that.
Right. You could be on a different floor and it's saying you're right there.
Right.
And that could be a no.
Yeah, I have a couch that if I ever lose the couch, I know there's a tile down at the bottom.
I had a tile attached to my snowblower key for a while just because I had this fear that I'd be out in 2 feet of snow and drop it. And, and if I didn't, well, at least with a tile on it, I could track it down in the snow. But without it, it's like, well, wait till the spring comes, you'll find your key again.
Yeah.
So so they're great for a lot of those things. Very excellent.
Yeah, that credit card one is nice because it's so flat and it can go into the back of a Kindle or something like that. It would fit real flat inside the case.
If I were going to have a sixth idea, I would suggest if for AirTag compatibility, the Chipolo brand has one of those flat card ones that works with Apple's Find My. So if you want to get something that's more like that, look for Chipolo. They have that.
Yeah, I haven't tried those. I was interested in those.
I had one from, I think, Pebble with 3 Bs, but it died recently. So it was, but I'd had it for years. So, I mean, it's just, these things don't last forever. All right. So those are our gift ideas this week for our first week of the Christmas gift guide series. So I hope you've recorded that, wrote it down. Of course, we'll have all of the links on our show notes so you can go check them out in case you were in the car while you were listening. Don't write it down.
Cooking dinner, whatever.
Oh man, I use the record function on my watch all the time for stuff like that in the car. Just a little tip for you folks. All right, so let's move on. And first, I want to do our picks of the our thanks to our patrons. Picks of the week. Thanks to our patrons. I want to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the secrets of technology, including this week Karen R, Taylor, Rachel M, Bob, and Tim's Rich. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the secrets of technology and all the shows at StarQuest, and you can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. I say Bob, I'm like, is it Jedi Bob? My kids are all Jedi Bob. When I hear Bob, I think Bob Newhart, so it's just a generational thing.
I was thinking Bob the Builder, but
Bob the Builder. Yes, millennial.
hanging out a little too much with my nieces and nephews.
Gen Z, millennial, and Gen X.
Right.
All right. Let's move on to some headlines before we wrap things up here. Apple recently put out their new feature that they'd announced at WWDC, the Apple Digital ID. And what this is for a couple of years now, Apple has worked with several states. I think they're up to 10 or 12 states now, to put your ID, your driver's license, in the Apple Wallet as a digital ID, and you could use it in place of your regular driver's license. I know, the technology's there. Sometimes getting people who see it to accept that this is valid is another thing, but that just be that as it may. Now, they announced this past summer that they were going to be doing this with the U.S. passport, which is great because it means U.S. passports work as the new Real ID. Real ID is the more secure ID system that we're all going to need, either through your state driver's license or a passport to fly domestically, starting I think in the spring of 2026. So you can now put your passport as a digital ID in your Apple Wallet, and the process is pretty simple, straightforward. You just need your passport. You take a picture of the photo page. You hold your phone up to the RFID in the back of the thing, and then you have to make faces at your camera to show that you're actually the person in the photo and not a photograph of you. It's fun. I had a little trouble getting the verification to work. I had to call Apple support. They were really great, walked me through it. They actually connected to my phone remotely and saw what I was doing. And you know how it is with IT. As soon as you get the IT guy in the line, it works. Oh
yeah,
yeah. So it's the IT guy magic. So
I actually did mine just 2 days ago and had no problem whatsoever.
Oh,
most people it worked really fine. So all that is prelude to this headline, which I saw, which is that Apple's digital ID sparks privacy concerns, and people are kind of worrying that, oh, now I'm going to have to hand my phone over to the TSA with my ID on it, and now TSA government agents will be able to have my phone and rifle through it and look at things, and but no, that's not how it works.
Right.
It works just like with Apple Pay, where you bring it up on your, you double click the side, you bring it up on the screen, you tap the terminal with it, and then the TSA agent on the other side sees just an approval. They don't see your data. They don't see your address. They don't see your social security number. They don't see any of that stuff. In fact, it's more secure than handing someone your license and that sort of stuff. So, have you guys seen any concerns about this, or did you have any concerns yourself, Father, when you were doing this?
I didn't. In fact, I remember, and I don't remember if it was Apple itself or if I was just reading up on it, but it was pretty clear to me that it was going to be one of those things where you don't have to hand your phone over. It sort of laid it out that it's like Apple Pay, that you're just going to put your phone on a reader and it'll work. And it also was clear too that this does not fully replace, like you still can use your physical, and in fact,
you still have to have it.
Yeah. It's not a full replacement of that, and so I didn't really have any problems with it. I mean, it convinced me that it's as secure as any Apple Pay transaction, and those are incredibly secure. So
right. I just like, there's a bunch of, in this article we'll link, there's a bunch of security experts who are all, law enforcement and hackers have tools to bypass iPhone security, and, now it's a new digital leash. I'm like, what is different with this than when we were putting our credit cards in it? And, you have all your banking information. You're like, do you not put anything on your phone now as it is? I don't understand. It just feels like, FUD for the sake of clicks. We need to make people afraid so that they will click and believe us as security experts. And I don't understand why there's this backlash against it now versus the whole concept of smartphones in general. It's just a weird thing.
If you're concerned at all, then don't do it.
Yeah.
And just use your physical ID. I mean, they're not going to force you to go digital and not have your physical ID. So
right.
You can't be forced to have a phone.
Right. I mean, in fact, one guy was like, it's the first step. Once it's normalized, it's irreversible. Then it's optional until it's not. Where are they requiring people to have smartphones, or they can't fly? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. It's
kind of like your boarding pass. You're not giving up your phone to let them scan the boarding pass. Yeah. You're just showing it and it scans it. It's not, You're not handing it over.
Exactly. We're already using our phones to get through TSA. It's just we're using the phone with the boarding pass. So this isn't any different in that case.
Except that with the boarding pass, you actually see a full image of the boarding pass. With this, you won't see the image of the passport. Right. It's just going to be digital.
And they were saying, like, with even with driver's licenses at like at bars, or to prove your age or that sort of thing, it doesn't show your date of birth on it when they scan it. It just says this person is of age. It's a more secure system than handing someone your physical ID.
Who could look at
that they can walk off with it too.
Yeah, and it's got your address and all that other information. And it's the same thing with credit cards, right? People used to have no problem at all handing a credit card to a waiter and them disappearing with it.
Yeah. Thankfully, most restaurants are now bringing their little card reader thing to the table, but it's still some of them.
Yep.
Some of the old places just don't.
They just walk away with your card, and who knows what they could be doing with it over there, you know? So, I mean, I guess, you know, you need to justify your existence as a security expert somehow, you know, but I
it's
think
clickbait.
I think it's just, folks, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Our next headline comes from The Guardian, and the headline itself says, TikTok to give users power to reduce the amount of AI content on their feeds. And for that, I say thank you. Now, I don't have TikTok on my phone. I still am.
You even have a TikTok account?
We have a TikTok account for StarQuest.
Okay,
that
fair.
I access through the Brave browser, and it's very walled off from everything else. So
it's such a generational thing, because I have zero desire to even get on it. I have people sending me Instagram reels or Facebook reels because I'm not on TikTok, and it's like exactly. I don't need that.
It all shows up on the other services,
right?
Anyway, the good stuff. Anyway, so. But I hope that Facebook and YouTube bring this to Instagram, because that's Facebook, brings this to their services too, because the amount of AI slop that's showing up in the feeds, the videos that are showing up, is becoming concerning. Here's a video of something crazy happening, and then I look at it and go, why does that guy have 3 legs? Like,
they're obvious.
But people are believing them, and it's only going to get better and more convincing.
Or worse.
Or worse, right? Better or worse, depending on your perspective. And so TikTok is giving users the ability to flip a switch and turn down or, reject the amount of AI made content that shows up in their feed. I think this is great. So you could say, I don't want, AI stuff in my feed. I don't want to have to spend my time trying to determine whether this is real or not. And presumably they're, in our next story, we'll actually have a little explanation of how they can figure out what's AI generated or not. But at least there is now a way to manage that, which I think
the beginning of a way.
Right. I think the people are becoming concerned, especially now that the OpenAI video generator Sora has become open to everyone. I spent 30 seconds scrolling through that feed, and I was like, this is ridiculous. There's no point to any of this. Like, it's not producing anything of value. Is even the little value that TikTok or Instagram Reels have. This doesn't even rise to that level.
Yeah, there may be amusement in it, and that's about it, huh?
Very, very little low amusement. It's not even. Yeah, it's just weird, is what most of it is. And then our final headline, just as I was alluding to, this one, Pat, you shared this with me to share with the audience. It's from the Boy Genius Report, BGR.com. I think it's Boy Genius Report, right?
I don't know what that's for. I just know it's a news site of some sort.
They call this BGR now. Anyway, the headline is, Gemini can now tell you if an image was made with AI. And so Google just launched Gemini 3, their latest version of Gemini. And among the other things it does, you can feed it an image and it will tell you whether it's AI generated or not, based on an invisible watermark. So there's a standard that they're trying to get out there called Synth ID, which they're trying to get all the different companies that create AI software that have generative AI functions to put this sort of thing, to put a Synth ID in the metadata, so that they can keep track of what's AI generated and what isn't. So
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm a little partial to just the whole notion of I like art, and digital art is really cool. And I've had a number of digital artists create art for me. And the whole notion of using AI to create art just sours my stomach, because all of those people who have talents and skills are, so I am very much opposed to the whole AI art thing. I mean, it's one thing if you want create a funny little clip art of something. But I mean, if you're truly trying to do something artistic, I am in full support of real artists, not the AI stuff. So to be able to distinguish them and say, yeah, no, we don't want this, I'm all for that.
And I know that this is the beginning, because not all of the stuff that's generated now has a watermark. But if they can go ahead and get this agreement with all of the companies to have a watermark, even if there's multiple types of watermarks that it could scan for. That, and I understand it's in the metadata, not in the picture itself or the video itself.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And again, the companies have to be participating in this. So some stuff will get through because it's being generated by people with without the responsibility to make sure that this is in there. But nevertheless, it's a great step.
It's a good step.
Yeah, I think it's important that there's more and more of this, and I like that it's coming from the ground up as opposed to being imposed legislatively.
Right.
This is more responsible when the people who are creating the technology are seeing the need to take the steps to protect people from misuse of the technology. So I think that's really, really great. Excellent. So those are our headlines. And since we did a gift guide, we're not doing picks of the week this week. So it's just asking too
much.
My
pick of the week.
My pick of the week is all those gift ideas. So that's it for us this time then. So we'd love to know what you thought of any of our gift ideas or any of our discussion of the headlines. You can let us know by sending us an email to technology@sqpn.com or visit the StarQuest Discord community at sqpn.com/discord. You'll find links from our discussion and picks of the week on our show notes at starquest.fm/TEC323. In this case, not picks of the week, but our gift guide links. You can find the previous episodes of the show at sqpn.com/technology. Be sure to follow The Secrets of Tech in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, your favorite podcast app, or at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/StarQuestMedia, where you should hit the bell to get notifications. We really do appreciate if you write a review of Apple Podcasts or one of the podcast directories and share the podcast with your friends. Help us grow this community and reach more listeners. Until next time, Father Andrew Kinstetter, thank you for joining me and sharing the secrets of technology.
Absolutely.
Pat Scott, thank you as well.
It's been fun.
And once again, I'm Dom Bettinelli, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy, The Secrets of Star Wars. Find it wherever fine podcasts are found or at sqpn.com/Star Wars.